Mr. Lee here. All right, there's going to be two-step equations now. So that means we're going to solve an equation. It should only take 2 steps to get to our answer. All right, so here's what we have. Solve for n. Let me rewrite it here. 24 equals 3 times n minus 5. Okay, at this point, you should have learned about distributive property, but we actually don't need to use the distributive property here because we have a strict number here and a strict number here. So this is the same thing as 3 times all this. Okay, so I can actually undo the times by 3 and just get this n minus 5 by itself by doing this. Okay, so I'm going to divide both sides by 3. It'll look like this. Okay, I'm going to update as I go, right, for our first step. But if I do a 3 divided by 3 on this right side, then it all just goes away like this. And then we actually don't even need the parentheses, right? So think about it. 3 times all this. If you divide that whole side by 3, all you do is get rid of this 3. And then you get the n minus 5 left over. Okay? 24 divided by 3 updates to an 8. So look at that. A nice one-step equation now, which should make sense, right? We started with 1 step, and then we finished off with 2 steps. So this one is just add 5 to both sides now. Right? I'll kind of show you how it updates. There's going to be a plus 5 on here, plus 5 on here. Whatever you do to one side of the equation, do it to the other side. Keep it balanced. So your 8 plus 5 turns into 13. And the whole point of doing the negative 5 plus 5 is now that goes to 0 plus 0, right? So that's how you get n by itself. 13. Okay, you guys can always check your work, right? Let's do some mental math. If I think my n value is 13, 13 minus 5 is an 8 inside the parentheses. And then 8 times 3 does equal a 24. Okay, we'll do, I think, 3 examples of these. So here is a k divided by 4 plus 3 equals 14. I like how we have a division here. Makes it a little bit trickier. But we can handle it. Okay, so our first step. Let's actually talk about the order of things, right? So if I start with this k value, I divide by 4, and then I add 3. That's what the left side reads, okay? So the last operation I did was plus 3. So that should be the first operation I undo, okay? I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. So it'll look like this. Subtract 3 from this side, keep it balanced, subtract 3 from this side. Both sides of the equation, okay? Whole point of that is 3 minus 3 goes to 0. So we're just left with the k over 4. And then 14 minus 3 updates to 11. Boom. Okay? So there's your first step. Let's just review a bit because I know I did a lot of highlighting and deleting, right? So your 3 plus 3 here, if I subtract 3 from both sides, it goes away. And then your 14 minus 3 updates to an 11. Okay? All right, so now we have the fraction. Some number divided by 4 equals 11. Opposite of dividing is multiplying. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. Okay? If I take some number and I divide it by 4, I can undo it by multiplying by 4. Okay? So I'm going to go like this, times 4 on both sides. Look what this does, right? Some number divided by 4 times 4, I just get that number back. And then 11 times 4 gives you a 44. Okay, check your answer if you want. 44 divided by 4 is 11. 11 plus 3 is 14, so we're good. Made the equation true. Okay, last one. Again, with all these videos, use what you need. Okay, so pause and rewind. Here we have a j divided by negative 2 plus a 7 equals negative 12. Okay, so I like this one because we have a lot of negatives. Let's practice with our negatives. This will be good. Okay, so let's start with your unknown number j. We're going to divide it by a negative 2, and then take that and add 7. The last operation we just did was add 7. Let's undo it. Subtract 7 from both sides. It'll look like this. Subtract 7 there, subtract 7 there. Okay, use your number line or a calculator if you need to help you with these smaller calculations. 7 minus 7 goes to 0, so we're just left with the j over negative 2. Negative 12 minus 7 gives you a negative 19. Okay, start your negative 12. You're subtracting a 7, which means you're going left on the number line. Gets you to a negative 19. Okay? All right. So then we have same number we're trying to solve for, j divided by -2. To undo a divide by -2, we're going to multiply by -2. Okay, that will look like this. Times by -2, times by -2. If I do that, some number divided by -2 times by -2 goes away. Okay, and then be careful here. Negative times a negative is a positive. 19 times 2, 38. Okay, so we actually end up getting a positive 38. All right, so two-step equations.